microphone was acting real weird last week too.
Oh no.
Guys, hey there, Melissa here. Can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear you. I don't
Does it
know.
sound staticky?
No, you sound good.
Okay, good. Because hey, J Dubs is in the house. Do you have a thing with you, or do you are you going to need me to?
No. I see. I got.
Oh,
it
yay.
on my other phone. Yeah.
Oh, weird. Why is this like this? It automatically. There we go.
Yeah. I saw that too, and I was like, "What happened?"
Maybe because I had a wider screen, or did I just do that when I accidentally hit something? Could be. Ooh, looking a little rough when I'm that close up.
I know. Oh my gosh. I feel like I aged so much in the last like week, but it's because I'm not sleeping.
It's very serious what a lack of sleep does to the body and how quickly my under eyes. I'm like, damn, I've never, no matter how unhealthy I was, I've never had under eye issues. And I've recently, well, that's an official bag, I think, right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sorry, I didn't advertise until late either, so hopefully
me either. And we're just here to kick it. We are not pressure. There's no pressure on our behalf or anyone else's. We're just going to discuss. We don't need to stick to the topic that I put on the thing either. Just a basic general discussion about this weird little spiritual process that we're all kind of going through.
Yeah.
That brought us all here to you.
Hi, Betsy. Hi, Jean.
Where's
Great
Betsy?
to see you guys. Betsy just came in the chat. Yeah.
What's new? We were just discussing that I have no sleep again, and Sadie is also lacking sleep, but and we love you, and we're all family. It don't matter.
Yes.
So yeah, I will grab cards several times by nature on accident here, guys. I don't feel called to pull any. I'm so tired. I just feel like I don't know what to talk about. Which is probably why there should be a more specific topic to discuss. But I thought, I'm working on, I feel like this is a part of reception or receiving is not feeling so obligated to have a discussion or a topic, not feeling so obligated to stay on course or on track. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Great to see you.
So yeah, I'm not good at that, winging it. I like to be, very. So here we go. Let's see what.
Hi, Agni. Good to see you.
Hi, Agni.
So do you want to start?
Sure, guys. So we are just kind of going to discuss kind of anything in the process of, whatever we've gone through, and maybe that will help others through their situation. Or if you guys have any things to add to the discussion, you can certainly do that in the chat. Yeah, I was just thinking the other day about what a weird ride this has been, and get all of my, let's just say, more third dimensional coworkers who probably haven't even scratched any type of surface of a spiritual awakening or any sort of healing journey or anything like that. I think, wow, it's just a weird thing that we've gone through here. I would say anybody that's out here on YouTube watching spiritual content of any kind.
Yeah.
That we have gone through and really don't have tons of people to discuss it with. Like our own, they're just like, what is happening to her? What is going on? So I thought we'd discuss all of that weird shit. And, crystal down. Yeah. So anyways, if anybody has any specific things about how does it feel when you ascend? Well, I'm sure you know, J-Dubs, but I will say some things that I have noticed. I know people talk about ascension symptoms, and there have been times where I felt both physically and mentally ill through this process. But ascension, in the general sense, really starts to feel like new awarenesses and then learning how to cope with them is kind of the what I would say about ascension. And it doesn't necessarily feel, depending again on, I think I didn't know that I needed to start taking better care of my body. Nutritionally, I think your body starts to almost reject that whole the toxic third dimensional. Is somebody yelling at somebody? Somebody watching?
No, it's my background. And I wanted to move, but now it looks like it's going to pour. Like it was fine. This is Florida weather where it was fine 10 minutes ago. And now
exactly.
it's like,
and then it'll pour for 10 minutes. I remember my office there. But it would rain like once a day for like 10 minutes, and it was hard rain and then gone. Sunny back.
Yes.
It's so weird. Absolutely. And it can suck. What I've noticed recently in my ascension is that I'm learning to accept my own humanness and other people's, which is really hard.
Yes.
You can see through all that. And I was just talking to my girls about it. While I don't think accepting people's disrespect is ever going to be something that we should do, no matter how involved we are, allowing people room to be human is, for instance, disrespect for me is intentionally being like maliciously being disrespectful.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of humanness is unintentional. A lot of the things that we do that aren't enlightened, or I don't really know how to say this. It's not intentional usually. So that's what I've been in my newest part of my ascension is like really just going, you know what? They just literally don't. I've been saying that for years, but I'm actually finally seeing that and getting it more on a because again, we can say something out loud all day long, and so we can get it internally. It means nothing for us, but yeah, I've been
so true.
Yeah. So what about you? What about you? Sadie?
I wanted to say the same thing. This year, I noticed that I'm just more accepting, not of disrespect, but just accept people where they're at. Like everybody's at a different level of consciousness. And when you can like really just accept like this person, they don't want to heal. They don't see that there's any issue with themselves, or they may not know how to heal. And it's not our jobs to heal them. Like when you can understand that and accept that, it does make this ascension process easier.
It does.
Because it's like that serenity prayer. I accept the things I cannot change. You cannot change other people. You cannot change some of the evil and crazy things in the world. You can just change yourself. Heal, work on healing yourself, work on growing yourself to be the best version of yourself, and to show and be an example to others to show that it is possible. And that is, acceptance has been a big thing for me on my journey. But like I'm noticing this year, like you said, Melissa, it's like it's easy to say it and you can say it a million times, but then one day it just clicks and you stop being triggered by like the same person who's going to do the same thing. You're just accepting that they're going to act up. They're going to do what they do. And you don't have to let yourself be dragged down into that level. Exactly. You can just kind of stay balanced and centered within yourself and know who you are and just, and accept it in that way. But I think it's really important too, to protect your peace. Like if like you can avoid certain people, not avoid to be like avoidant, but like if you're not just throwing yourself kind of, say you have a family member that's very disrespectful, very triggering, and if you're constantly putting yourself in positions where they're doing the same thing, like it's almost like a form of self-harm. So it's like you really have to set healthy boundaries and like say, okay, I'm not accepting this. I'm not accepting that disrespect. I'm not going to tolerate you always acting up and doing all this crazy. Yeah. So it's like, it's learning what to accept, what you will and will not accept from other people, setting healthy boundaries, but then also just understanding that everybody is at a different level of consciousness. We are all where we're at. And like, we've all been there too. That's the thing too, is like, I look at myself now compared to myself 10, 15 years ago. And I have a totally different way of thinking and doing things.
It's a whole version, right? It's crazy, like a whole morphed the death card all the way.
Yes. So it's like sometimes I do have a recognition and compassion for where people are at, even if it's something that I, you know, don't agree with, or I'm kind of at a space where I don't want to experience that or interact with that. I can see it and be like, yeah, I remember when I behaved that way. You know what I mean? So
$1,000,000,000. God's been giving me a lot of that, and like a lot of people that either I was literally exactly like, or people who are kind of mirroring how I am at this moment. And it's like, whew, I mean, I appreciate it, and but it is sometimes really hard. And I think that's why people end up evolving. And by the way, I wanted to jump on this avoidant situation because I think that
yeah.
we get or spiritual community. I think people, avoidant is something like an issue that needs to be resolved with someone, and trying to avoid it because you'd rather not face it.
Yeah.
Avoidant is not setting a boundary and staying away from people who are toxic for you. Okay.
Exactly.
So, but people do think avoiding being around people who are in a lower vibration and choosing not to heal, that is not avoidant. That is boundaries, and that is smart, and that is the only way you're ever going to get out of that vibration.
Absolutely.
Been there with them. I'm talking about family or friends that are refusing to do the healing they need to do.
Yes.
And eventually, sure, if you're not in the midst or the heat of the moment of healing, eventually, when you've done the healing or you've done a lot of the healing, you can probably go back to having a relationship, a very minimal, relationship.
Yeah.
With people. But it is very important to avoid those people in the heat of your ascension or the heat of your healing, because it will deter you. It will keep you where you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. So unfortunately, people will tell you that leaving or, avoiding being around people like that are terrible for you in this moment, or they're terrible for your healing, right?
Yes.
Not saying one's better than the other, but you would like to heal and they're refusing to. Then people make you feel guilty for walking away and call you avoidant. No fucking way. Like, I just wanted to be clear on this because I've watched people shame people for that in this community in particular. I'm like, you guys, what's this?
I know.
All of a sudden,
no, you're absolutely correct, Melissa. It's about, if you need to stay away from your parents to protect your peace, do that. Like, if you need to, stay away from a sibling who's abusive, do that. If that's what's going to be healing for you, if that's what's going to help you to have, mental, emotional, and spiritual wellness, do that.
What you'll have to offer them if you avoid them now will be much better. From my own personal experience, my new relationship with my mother is, we never had a relationship like this before, so it's amazing what can happen if you just can avoid that, because it really makes things worse. You will cause more damage to them if you get triggered, and they will do the same to you if they get triggered. And it's just best to take space, and that is not avoided.
That is true. Taking space is so important.
And sometimes it comes back around, and sometimes it can't. But either way, where you end up is definitely in a better place.
Yeah. And, understand that, like, if you have to forgive someone for something that they've done, forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. It's for you. It's for you to come to a place of peace. It's for you to come to a place of acceptance, and don't ever feel bad for doing what you need to do to protect your peace, to have self-care, to have healthy boundaries, to, I'm just looking at Agnes' comment where she's like, yeah, she's been shamed to be about. You're not.
That's right. Exactly.
You're not.
And about that forgiveness thing, I just want to tap into that as well, because over the years, I always knew that forgiveness was important, and I was pretty good at forgiving back in the day. I've never actually been good at holding a grudge until I started my own healing journey. And then all of a sudden I became kind of a grudge holder, which I realize now is just, I became better at having boundaries or standards, where I had no boundaries, no standards previously. So now forgiveness is different than just allowing negativity. I'm waiting for that. The wind.
Yes, the wind. It just kicked up. It's like the storms are starting.
Oh,
But what I would say though too is for ascension as well, it's just you really do see things differently. There is a whole change in perspective of how you see the world, how you see yourself, how you see life. So when you notice that you're growing in that way, where your whole perspective changes about everything, you know that you're on your ascension path.
Yeah, you can just like think of it as like you get these new set of eyeballs every few months or something. That's what it feels
Yes.
like. I walk outside and I'm like, it is gotten more gorgeous out here. Even just literally your perception of all things, the way you see everything and everyone is changing and evolving. There was something I was going to say about actually,
I know you were talking about forgiveness.
forgiveness. Oh my God, it's so important. This one is huge. Okay,
Yeah.
you guys, because I had watched something from Dolores Cannon that I love.
I
And
love Dolores Cannon. Yeah.
Yep. She's just got I don't know if she's a dancer, but she seems to have a very strange perspective. Like I feel like we do. But anyway, so I'll have to look her if she was a Cancerian. But anyway, the reality that you released yourself from the way to know, I guess, if you released yourself from what we all like to call karmic cycles. So how do I know if I'm out of the karmic cycle? If you've forgiven, is how you know
Yes.
you're out. If you have not yet come up with how to forgive, or you don't feel forgiveness for those who have hurt you, you are still stuck in that karmic cycle. What does that mean? It doesn't mean terrible things are going to happen for you, but it is that you are still fighting that energy in. Okay?
Yes.
Knowing that we can forgive or have forgiven those who have harmed us is how we know we have graduated that cycle. Okay, the world is what I'm getting to that.
100%. That's the cycle to end karma. You get off the wheel of karma.
Yep.
With continuing that same pattern of behavior or continuing to attract that same type of person or that same situation when you can forgive it. And you'll know when you forgive it when it doesn't trigger you anymore. Like you can talk about it and you're not emotionally triggered about it. It's just, it was an experience you had, you learned, you grown, and you moved on. And it does happen. Yep, it does happen.
And when you genuinely would like for that person to be able to get, heal and get through that situation as well. As far as I'm concerned, there has been times where people have hurt me so badly, I've wished that somebody would do the same thing to them.
Yeah.
And that is a good way of knowing that you're still stuck in the karmic cycle with them. You can be separate from that person, but still stuck in that karmic cycle because we haven't released it or gotten over it or faced it and healed it. And I'm so sorry about
Betsy. Yeah. But walking away for yourself is a win. Like, I know it seems like a loss right now, but whenever you choose yourself, that's a win.
It is you're going to get it's like a renewed sense of, actually not renewed, sense of self, power in your core. It is real that you actually take back your sacral chakra energy. When we're with somebody out of obligation who isn't good to us, we are absolutely handing our sacral chakra powers over to them. Our manifestation powers, our creation power, all of our power over to that person. So when we walk away and we mean it, I just want to be clear, if our boundaries still weak and we're kind of teetering on the coming back, we don't necessarily get our sacral chakra power right away. But when we mean what we say and we're leaving because this is what we know is best for us, we actually become more powerful.
Yes.
And attraction wise, and we really start to call in better things on a better vibration because we've proven to ourselves, again, we've actually received that energy back. I wanted to talk about that's why I'm just going winging it. Okay, guys. Sorry. The conversation me and you had, Sadie, on one of our all signs readings was about why guys. You were talking about why or I think it came up in a reading, and then you had mentioned why guys tend to walk away after they've gotten the nookie.
Oh yes.
So it's because they've received the energy that they were craving in the first place was your actual womb energy, right? So they've received that energy, and they literally can't even help the fact that you don't know. This isn't, we're not going through this consciously, right? But that is why it's imperative that we wait to solidify the relationship in that way, if we care to find true love, until we are loved, because then that exchange won't so they won't be running if we're already committed to each other. And but that is what I don't know what that was. I was having these downloads come through the other day about it. I don't know if that's a real thing, but that's why that energetically they seem to run and repel us after that exchange has happened. Because
You're
they
absolutely
got,
right.
yeah,
They got what they were craving. It's just kind of like if you were really hungry and you finally got the one thing that you were wanted to get to eat. It's like, you're good. Like you're, and which is a horrible way to look at life and
again,
relationships and people.
Why they're doing that, I don't think it's just what they craved in you. While they associate it with sex, what they were actually craving is your feminine sacral chakra energy.
The energy.
So it feels like they're craving the sex with you, but as soon as they exchange that energy with you, they have no reason to stick around. And again, that's why if we don't wait for love, God, I was just going to go into this. God doesn't necessarily a sin or all this like controlling shit. That it's about protecting yourself and fortifying relationships for the right reasons. But I don't know where I was going with that. But I feel go ahead.
But Betsy, the pool that you fill is your connection to the past and the history that you have. And a lot of times when a relationship or situation ends, it's long term, because I've been there too, where you just feel that pull so badly, but you had to walk away for yourself. There comes a point in time where you stop romanticizing the pull or like the past and like the good, and you actually come into the truth of how long you've been hurting. Because if you weren't hurting that bad, you wouldn't have to walk away.
Yes, well, that, and yes, sometimes that it hurts. Also,
hi, Christy.
Hey, Christy. I can't tell if that's echoing.
I know it's probably me, and I'm trying to hold my headphones like.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But I just realized it's probably coming back into my microphone. I didn't even think about it but I have my volume on here. I don't know any other way to do it. So hopefully it isn't too bad, guys. But I don't remember anything now.
We were talking about the magnetic pull to someone.
Yes, so that magnetic pull has been downloaded to me. That magnetic pull, well, it's obviously our own internal wounding, right? So that energetic pull we might feel towards somebody is because we've attached some sort of validation to that person, or it's like, let's say we have a wound. It's like a trauma bond, what it is actually. So like we have a wound that needs to be healed, and we think something takes it away temporarily, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it is. We kind of attach that onto them. So now the only way that we can feel better, we think, from that wound is still gaping in there, trying to be that, whatever that is around. So that pull is going to feel that way, whatever you've done in your history. Which is what the whole twin flame is about as well. I hope that makes sense. I'm guessing. I don't know anything about trauma bonding or what, I haven't done research on that, but that's what that feels like to me. Is where we start connecting our feeling better with something or someone, because it temporarily takes away the pain for a moment. And obviously, when you're in an unhealthy relationship, that is actually adding to the pain and support that is taking away from the original pain. But it's all bringing you back to the reality that whatever brought you into a relationship like that still needs to be healed.
Yeah. But as far as ascension goes, I mean, part of ascension, the major part of ascension is evolution. And if you're in a relationship or anything, a relationship, a job, whatever is in your life, the structures that are in your life, if they're not evolving with you, they can't come with you, And so as hard as it is, like when I went through my major ascension, I lost like all my friends. I lost so much that I had attached my identity to.
Yes.
And what this whole process has shown me, and now 6, 7 years later, I've realized that I was attached to a false sense of self. Those things, that job was not who I truly am. That relationship was not who I truly am. Those things were actually, they were preventing me from allowing myself to grow, heal, and evolve.
And
I didn't see, yes, and find the real me and discover the real me. And I didn't see it at the time. And so it's heartbreaking at the time when everything in your life is just like dissolving, when you're going through that process.
Oh my God.
Hello, she is gorgeous. I just called my wife cheating, so I'm emotional and lit. How are you doing?
Oh gosh.
Am I ugly?
We are live on YouTube.
Let me go before I get myself in trouble.
You scared the crap out of me.
I know. I was like, oh,
I saw you, and then I was like, what the heck? Oh my
God. Well, that's fun. That was a nice little entertaining.
So, yes, that was fun.
We're going to get him his comic channel in just a moment.
Let me go because I'm emotional. I am talented.
We're going to get you your own channel here. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes. So, again, sometimes you just don't resonate with certain people and certain things in your life, and it's just better to let them go than yeah.
Absolutely.
And Betsy, this is part of the process of that transformation from the caterpillar to the butterfly. And so it was kind of funny though.
That was funny, and the timing was perfect, right? His timing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and yes, that loss, it's just some of the most excruciating.
Yeah.
Are you busy? Would you like for me to leave you alone?
Yeah, we're just trying to finish up this chat.
All right.
Thank you.
Just let me join.
I don't think he gets that we're live on YouTube. I think he thinks we're just FaceTiming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, how long have we been on this? 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
I do feel like we've gotten a lot out on the table, and as usual, we got a lot. I've got a lot. Are you moving? No. I'm moving. I did find out I got a place, guys. I'm so excited, and I was like, we knew we were moving.
Yay!
We just didn't know where. So we do know where, and I'm so grateful. And everything is working out as usual. Really, God does take some things happened here that seemed to be not for me, that forced me into a situation that was for me, and that is just the way that this world works. If we're not in the right relationship, the divine will take that from us. If we don't leave them, they'll leave us. And by God's grace, they'll leave us so we can get what's meant for us instead of what is not. Okay.
Absolutely. Rejection is God's protection and God's redirection. Sometimes it is the biggest blessing in disguise and the biggest gift that you could ever be given when things don't work out the way you thought it should.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it will be better for you, Betsy. And I know it doesn't feel like that now. And so allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Part of the process of ascension is really just being honest with yourself. Going through it, feel it to heal it, be honest with yourself.
And yes, acknowledgement of the pain. My God, I was just looking at pictures of me and my daughters on one of their birthdays when they were younger, and it was all like flowing through me that I was determined to make myself and everyone else think that I was okay. So I had the big smile, and I was, trying to be the best mom and doing all the things that we're supposed to do. But man, I didn't know that the awakening starts the moment you decide to acknowledge that this shit is fucking painful as fuck. There's something inside of me that is so fucking raw and beat up, and I don't know how to handle it. And that's when shit started awakening, like just really acknowledging, and then of course taking inspired action towards making better choices for ourselves and things like that.
Absolutely. That actually is when you start to awaken.
That's right.
You're like at that sort of rock bottom of pain where you're just like, you cannot pretend it doesn't hurt anymore. You cannot fake it.
I cannot fake it till I make it any fucking more, because I ain't making it no more. Seems like I'm just piling more shit onto it. It's just becoming more and more excruciating. And because of that excruciating energy inside your core, you're inviting more excruciating energy in, or more situations. And it's a tough cycle to get out of. But boy, I mean, one short fucking year of really focusing on becoming a better human and everything. There's a meme that I used to laugh at, but it was like, in this month, you're going to get a new car, a new house, a new job. I live it. I'm literally living this meme that I used to think, yeah, fucking right. It really happened when you start taking better care of yourself. I promise. When you start to believe you're worth it, when you start to recognize you don't need to settle for anything ever again, ever.
You start pouring the love that you poured into everybody else into yourself.
Absolutely. Oh, baby. Oh,
I know, Betsy. I'm sending you my love, honey.
My heart hurts. Oh,
yeah, because we've all been there. We've been there.
Yeah, I've never walked down the aisle, but I do want to say that because of the way you said that, a lot of times too, what I want you to recognize is the vision of what we anticipated this was going to be is what we're having the hardest time letting go of, not the thing or the person themselves, because that hasn't been very lovely the whole time, but what we dreamt up in our heads about how this was going to look or where this was going to go. It was a dream, and that dream is actually a reality. It's just maybe with somebody else. Okay.
Yeah, it's the death of the illusion.
That's right. Oh,
that one hurts. That one hurts. The expectation, all your goals and dreams, because it wasn't just like the end of a relationship or the end of a job or it was everything that you had envisioned it was going to be for you.
Yep. And as psychic creatures, we do have that available to us. We just need to not be willing to settle for something that isn't it. And till we get to it and do the work we need to do for ourselves until we get there. That's all we can really do. But a lot of us, the visions that we have, or that we kind of have our street, don't try to imagine any situation. Florida man.
The Florida man and the Florida soccer matches.
It does sound fun, I will say that.
Oh man.
I used to want to live in Florida. I mean, I don't think I don't now. I think I do want to still. I thought about it. I definitely want to live near the ocean. But so yeah, maybe we'll all end up in Florida. I'll just enjoy my new place for a little while.
Yes, congratulations. I'm not there yet, but it's coming. It's coming. It's just
always coming. I promise that.
It's always coming.
Yeah, we just gotta be patient, and it's not easy, especially when we're not in love with our current situation. And I know everybody's like, you just have to love what you have to get. And there are things that we can all be grateful for in this moment.
Yes.
Tell people you don't have to feel guilty about not liking something that isn't worthy of you. Okay, you don't have to feel guilty if you're in a situation that seems to be constantly trying you, or it seems to be like toxic people all around or whatever. I guess maybe we should discuss that a little bit, because I'm working on
absolutely
grateful in that moment, right? Like, I don't have to like these people, I don't have to be grateful for them, but I can't for the things that aren't them, or the fact that I'm not them, right? Or the fact that I've evolved beyond that point, or whatever it is. So there are always things we can find to be grateful for, which really does help. Or things that we can be grateful for come into our life. It's real.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I write a gratitude list every day. It's like I make a practice of it before I go to sleep. Even if I had a bad day, I'll just find the things that I'm grateful for, because there's always something to be grateful for. And even, it's like that quote, I see this meme a lot. There's things in your life that you have now that you were once praying for. And that is fucking true for me. So I have to absolutely be grateful for it. Yeah.
if just one is sobriety, my children, there's so many, yeah, just so many things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we can definitely, and again, this does not ever mean don't feel the pain of what you're going through, because if you do avoid feeling that, you will have to continue, you will continue to live in that vibration. If you
So
can't
true.
release it.
It's so true. Hi, Antonia.
Hi, Antonia.
I think too, for as far as ascension goes too, is just understanding that it's always going to be this process of learning. Like, you're
Amen.
never going to be fully ascended in the physical. It's just not possible.
Sometimes I'll get something down finally, and then and then that was wrong. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
So yeah, it's all a process, and shit changes, and
yeah, it's just an ever ascending staircase that you just keep going up. You keep moving forward, you will see the progress in your life. You absolutely will see that progress.
Yep. Oh. Well, ladies, I am really sleepy. But I love you, and it does feel like it's gonna storm there. Is it? Is it supposed?
I know it's Florida. It was literally right before I sat down. It was nice and sunny. You could see the sunset. It was beautiful, and then the clouds just started rolling in. Oh man! Any final thoughts, Melissa? For
the final thought here is, this is your journey. This is your damn journey. And,
yes.
Just do whatever. You might hear something that me and Sadie say that doesn't resonate with you. Don't do things that aren't resonating with you just because. I think it's wonderful to have faith in other people, but the reality is we've all been built with a roadmap to our own personal lives, and we're being downloaded the information that is best for us.
Amen.
So stop ignoring your guidance, because it does go very deep. And we might be able to offer confirmation or even give new perspective on things. It's great, right? But
yeah.
You gotta listen to your sweetheart. It is talking to you. Sometimes it doesn't sound exciting. Sometimes it sounds terrifying. Sometimes it's like, hey, listen, we can barely walk up the stairs because we're smoking too many cigarettes a day here. I'm talking from personal experience, and I was like, damn. I'm like, I was, smaller than I had, usually was, but I couldn't breathe. Yeah, there's things that your body or your heart is calling you to that might seem scary or like unfamiliar, but it's best for you, and that's always what you should do. You should follow that heart of yours, okay?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. If you can take one thing from your spiritual journey, is that it's yours. So it's helpful to listen to tarot videos. Sometimes it's helpful to read books and to listen to other spiritual teachers. But if it doesn't resonate for you, don't make it fit. One size does not fit all. It is something my guides are always telling me. Because it doesn't. Everybody came with their own sort of unique spark, their own unique divine blueprint to express to the world. And if you're following what somebody else is doing and exactly what they've done, you're not expressing your own unique divine blueprint, because no one else can be you. No one has completely walked through your shoes and had every experience that you have had. That's what makes us all, like, we're all connected and we're all divine and we're all at the higher frequencies. We're all one.
Yep.
But down here, we do have these unique individual sparks of divinity that we are embodied. And so own that, love yourself, know that you are worthy of everything that you desire and deserve for your life. And just trust your heart and trust your soul. And that is the key. That is the key.
Yep. So a lot of times the things that seem scary, they're leading you to a place. For instance, I'm going to say when I quit drinking, smoking, drugs, all of those things, they all were terrifying for me. I didn't think I was going to be able to do those things. First of all, and we've all been taught that those things are impossible, or that you can never live a healthy, happy life if you've had any of those things to battle in this lifetime. But as the divine is calling you towards, let's say, sobriety or any of those things, to quit smoking cigarettes, that's not the only plan, right? There's a plan that's attached to that as well. Your best life is on the other side. So the divine is going to push towards things that are for the betterment of your life, because you're being called to, again, when you're being called to quit alcohol, let's just say, you're not just being called to sobriety, you're being called to a purpose that would require you to be of sober mind.
Sober. Yes, absolutely.
And because it just in general, you can't, well, I'm not going to dog on any, but when we're pouring poison into our bodies of any kind, it is so hard to feel worthy of anything. So it really does put a huge damper on your self-esteem. All of those addictions do.
Yeah. And as far as tarot, Jean, I actually taught myself. I was interested in it when I was like a teenager. My grandmother lived in New Mexico, and so we would go like every summer, and there was like a psychic fair that I went to. I was like 14, and I had my first tarot reading there, and ever since then I was just like, oh, I love tarot, And it was funny because she read for me, and she was accurate about something that happened in my future, but it happened like 5-6 years down the road. Wow. But I always remember that reading as being like really accurate. And so after that, I got my first like deck, and I just was like, I just used it for myself for like years. Like I didn't tell people that I did tarot and stuff like that. I was like kind of scared, I was in the spiritual closet, so to speak,
Absolutely.
But
the more Christian belief system about that, religious belief system about it, we've been taught that that's
bad or evil or wrong or whatever. But it's really a great tool to help you to understand energy and like kind of read energy. You don't need tarot to read energy, but it does help you to clarify.
It's not the tool that's evil, it's the user. That is or isn't, okay?
Yeah. That's true too.
Yeah. Can't blame the tool. I gotta blame the fool. Okay, that was so dumb. And I learned reading tarot from YouTube. I just would watch I tried to read about the books about tarot, and I did not resonate with the meanings. They were very third dimensional. They were very rude, and they did not sit well with me. I was like, well, that's fucking disturbing as fuck. And I realized that whoever wrote this wasn't very spiritually connected, and I thought, I'm not going to take information from a spiritually connected. Oh my God. Did it lightning? What happened there?
Yeah, it's lightning like across the park.
Okay. But is somebody like coming at you? Do you need me to come there, Sadie?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So yeah, so anyways, J-Dubs, I don't know if you were talking about the bus, but by whoever would resonate most with me, and then of course, then I just allowed downloads to come through about each card. I hit them, and they change when I do a tarot card reading. The actual meaning of the card will change, not necessarily completely, but there will be different stories that come through, and I just use the tarot as a guide to help me channel a little more differently. Some people can do that. Sometimes. Well, it depends on the flow of, like, I don't know what might block that flow. Sometimes I'm like, I ain't got shit going on. And sometimes I can't.
Yeah. And oh, shoot. Yeah. I'm going to get ready to go. It's getting too
scary over there.
But what I would say too, though, is you're right, Melissa, about that is like sometimes, like some people, I don't even need cards because I just get downloads. And then other people, it's like, I'll get one or two things, but I actually do need cards to like kind of understand what I'm picking up on. You know what I mean? So it'll like
help you read out that energy that you're feeling.
Yeah. Yes.
Agreed 1,000,000%. Sadie, always a pleasure. I love you so much. I'm so excited for whatever the future holds for all of us.
I love you too.
Online. And I do just feel some really big shifts occurring in the collective. And I know we always say that there's always shifting going on, but I'm watching even kind of like the darkest of the souls starting to like almost just kind of butterfly. I'm watching things that I thought didn't have a shot at shifting into the fifth dimension, really coming into the softer space. So I'm excited for that for everybody because,
Yeah, me too. So you guys you're doing great. Wherever you're at is where you're meant to be right now. Just know that and just trust your heart. Trust your soul, trust your inner guidance.
Always.
It's the best thing you can do. It's the best thing
Always.
you can do.
It never lies. Our fear will lie to us. Okay, just so we're clear on the both. If you can tell that there is a fear attached to the thought that you're having, you can tell. If you're not doing it, you're afraid you're going to die if you do it. Now, don't jump off of anything or anything crazy, but that's not your intuition. That's a fear. Okay. But I love you. Yeah. Let's wrap this up. I'm so sorry.
All right, you guys. Yeah, now it's starting to pour.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bye. Okay. I love you. Be safe. Let me know when you're home. Okay. Love you guys.
All right. Okay, we'll do.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Bye.